World War II, also known as the Second World War, was a global conflict that lasted from 1939 to 1945, involving most of the world's nations. It emerged as a continuation of unresolved issues from World War I and resulted in unprecedented destruction and loss of life. The war is considered one of the deadliest conflicts in history, with an estimated 70 to 85 million fatalities. The causes of World War II are complex and multifaceted, but some key factors include the Treaty of Versailles, the rise of totalitarian regimes, and aggressive expansionist policies pursued by countries like Germany, Japan, and Italy. The roots of World War II can be traced back to the aftermath of World War I. The harsh terms imposed on Germany by the Treaty of Versailles in 1919, which included massive reparations and territorial losses, created economic hardship and sowed resentment among the German population. The rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party in Germany capitalized on this discontent, promoting aggressive nationalism, militarism, and territorial expansion as a means to restore Germany's lost glory. In the 1930s, other totalitarian regimes emerged in Italy under Benito Mussolini and in Japan under Emperor Hirohito. These regimes shared similar ambitions of territorial expansion and sought to reshape the world order in their favor. Mussolini invaded Ethiopia in 1935, while Japan embarked on a campaign of military aggression in China, starting with the Marco Polo Bridge incident in 1937. The outbreak of World War II can be traced to September 1, 1939, when Germany invaded Poland, prompting Britain and France to declare war on Germany. This marked the beginning of a new phase of conflict that engulfed much of the world. The war in Europe saw the Axis powers, led by Germany, Italy and Japan, pitted against the Allied powers, which included Britain, France, the Soviet Union, and eventually the United States. The early years of the war were marked by German blitzkrieg tactics that led to the rapid conquest of much of Europe. France fell in 1940, leaving Britain as the only major Allied power standing against the Axis forces. The Battle of Britain in 1940 marked a turning point, as the Royal Air Force successfully repelled German air attacks, preventing a German invasion of Britain. In the Pacific theater, Japan's surprise attack on the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, brought the United States into the war. The Pacific theater saw intense fighting across vast expanses of ocean and islands, as American forces pushed back Japanese expansion and gradually took the offensive. As the war progressed, it became increasingly brutal and destructive. The Axis powers implemented policies of occupation, repression, and genocide in the territories they controlled. The Holocaust, in which 6 million Jews were systematically murdered by the Nazis, stands as one of the most horrific atrocities of the war. The turning point of the war in Europe came with the Battle of Stalingrad in 1942-1943, where Soviet forces successfully repelled a massive German offensive, marking the beginning of the Soviet counteroffensive that would eventually push German forces back to Germany. In the Pacific, key victories at battles like Midway and Guadalcanal turned the tide against Japan. The final phase of the war saw the Allies making significant advances on multiple fronts. The D-Day invasion of Normandy in June 1944 marked the beginning of the liberation of Western Europe from German occupation. In the Pacific, the U.S. island-hopping campaign brought American forces closer to Japan. The war in Europe concluded with the unconditional surrender of Germany on May 8, 1945, known as Victory in Europe Day. In the Pacific, the war continued until August 1945, when the United States dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, leading to Japan's surrender on August 15, 1945, known as Victory over Japan Day. The legacy of World War II is profound and far-reaching. The war led to the redrawing of national boundaries, the creation of new international organizations like the United Nations, and the beginning of the Cold War between the Western Allies and the Soviet Union. The devastation wrought by the war also highlighted the need for collective security, human rights protections, and efforts to prevent future conflicts. World War II stands as a defining moment in modern history, shaping the course of the 20th century and leaving a lasting impact on the world. The war's complex causes, its devastating consequences, and the heroism and sacrifices of those who fought in it continue to be remembered and studied. It serves as a cautionary tale of the horrors of war and underscores the importance of maintaining peace and cooperation among nations. The aftermath of World War II significantly reshaped global geopolitics. Europe was divided by the Iron Curtain, separating the Western Allies and the Soviet Union into two opposing blocs, NATO in the West and the Warsaw Pact in the East. This division defined the Cold War era, marked by ideological, political, and military tensions between these superpowers. The war also highlighted the devastating impact of modern warfare, including the use of advanced weaponry such as tanks, aircraft, and most notably, nuclear weapons. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki underscored the destructive power of nuclear warfare and ushered in the nuclear age, prompting fears of global annihilation and the concept of mutually assured destruction. World War II's human toll was staggering, with millions perishing and many more suffering from displacement and trauma. The war revealed the extent of human brutality, epitomized by the Holocaust and other genocides by the Axis powers. These events profoundly influence ongoing dialogues about human rights, genocide prevention, and fostering cross-cultural tolerance and understanding. Since World War II, global initiatives have been undertaken to avert future conflicts. The founding of the United Nations in 1945 was pivotal in fostering global peace and cooperation. Additionally, entities such as the International Criminal Court enforce accountability for war crimes. Worldwide, memorials and educational efforts perpetuate the war's legacy, cementing its historical lessons. Reflecting on World War II's legacy, we must honor the sacrifices of those who endured the conflict. Their bravery and resolve under dire adversity exemplify humanity's finest qualities, reminding us to cherish and defend freedom, democracy, and justice. To forge a brighter future, we must commemorate the war's survivors, heed its teachings, and foster a society rooted in peace, collaboration, and human dignity. Grasping history is key to shaping a tranquil, equitable world for posterity. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notifications for our latest content. See you in the next one. God bless you.